Most Shopify store owners think their biggest dropshipping problem is finding good suppliers. It is not. The real problem is what happens after you find them. When you have 5, 10, or 30 plus suppliers and every single order turns into a manual fire drill, that is when your operation starts bleeding money. We work with multi-supplier Shopify operators every day, and we have seen what separates the ones scaling cleanly from the ones drowning in manual work. First, let me paint you a picture. You are doing 50 to 70 orders a day on your Shopify store. Sounds great on paper, but behind the scenes, every order has to be copied, reformatted, and sent to the right supplier manually. Supplier A wants a CSV, supplier B wants an email, supplier C has a portal, and supplier D only accepts EDI. So now, because of this, someone on your team is spending 4 to 5 hours a day just pushing purchase orders out the door. Does that sound efficient to you? And then the second that person makes a mistake, the wrong PO goes to the wrong supplier. The customer gets the wrong product, which means you eat the return and you lose the margin. The fix is simple. Automated PO generation that takes every incoming order, identifies the correct supplier, creates the purchase order in whatever format that vendor requires, and sends it without anyone touching it. Same orders, but completely different operation. There is a silent killer though. It's called inventory sync. Here's the scenario. Your supplier says they have 10 units. Your Shopify store shows 10. Your Amazon listing shows 10. But the real number is 7 because 3 were sold on another channel an hour ago, and nobody updated anything. That is how overselling happens. And on Amazon, that is a performance metric violation. On Walmart, that gets your listing suppressed. On your own site, that is a refund, a bad review, and a customer who never comes back. Despite this, most operators are still syncing inventory manually, with maybe a VA updating a spreadsheet once a day, or maybe someone logging into supplier portals every morning. The problem is that the supplier stock changes hourly, not daily. By the time your team finishes updating the sheet, the data is already wrong. Now, multiply that across 15 suppliers, each one sending inventory in a different format. What you need is one centralized system that pulls inventory from every supplier on a schedule, maps their product codes to your catalog, and pushes accurate stock levels to every sales channel at the same time. And here's a quick tip. Always build in a safety stock buffer. If a supplier reports 10 units, list 8. That cushion protects you from sync lag and keeps your account health intact. Now, here's where most operators leave serious money on the table. When an order comes in, somebody has to decide which supplier fulfills it. In most operations, a person is making that call manually every single time. They check who has it in stock, who is cheapest, and who is closest to the customer, and then they make a judgment call. Do that 100 times a day and tell me how consistent those decisions are going to be. A wiser way to handle this is through rules-based order routing, which means you set the logic once and the system executes it on every order without hesitation. Route by cost, the cheapest supplier wins. Route by geography, the closest warehouse ships it. Route by availability, whoever has stock gets the order. Route by performance, the supplier with the best fill rate gets priority. And when no single supplier can fulfill the full order, a smart system splits it automatically and routes each line item to the right vendor based on your rules. That is not just order management. That is profit optimization on every transaction happening automatically while you focus on growing the business. The final system we need to go over is tracking and returns. Most operators ignore this until it blows up. Here's the scenario. Your supplier ships the order, but the tracking number lives in their portal, not yours. Someone has to log in, grab it, paste it into Shopify, and hope they do it before the customer emails asking where their package is. With automation, the supplier ships, tracking auto imports into your system, pushes to Shopify, and the customer gets notified without anyone touching anything. If you sell on Amazon or Walmart, this is not optional. Late tracking updates risk account suspensions. Returns can be just as much of a nightmare. Every supplier has a different return policy, a different return address, and a different RMA process. Without a centralized system, your support team is guessing every time a customer wants to send something back. The fix is a centralized return workflow where returns route to the correct supplier automatically based on the product, the vendor, or the order attributes. And when you automate this, You also get data, supplier fill rates, on-time shipping, and return rates by vendor. Now you know exactly which suppliers are making you money and which ones are costing you. Everything we just covered is not theory though. Kenneth Cole, the fashion brand, runs their direct-to-consumer business on Shopify Plus with over 30 fulfillment partners. A single customer order could involve shoes from one partner, a handbag from another, and luggage from a third. They were stuck on legacy EDI systems that were slow, rigid, and required hardcore programming to maintain. They had no real-time visibility into inventory or order status across their partners. When they switched to Flxpoint, they automated multi-partner order routing, got real-time inventory visibility, and started processing orders the same day. Orders that come in before 2 p.m. Eastern now ship the same day from most of their warehouses. They saw 90% reduction in cost and doubled their revenue year over year. Their head of DTC e-commerce said the visibility alone changed everything because he could log in and see where every order stood in the process without needing any EDI experience. They even launched pre-orders for the first time ever, something that they had never been able to do with their old systems. The difference between a Shopify dropship operation that scales and one that breaks is not the number of suppliers. It's whether the systems behind those suppliers are automated or manual. PO processing, inventory sync, order routing, tracking, and returns. Fix these 4 and you can handle 30 plus suppliers as easily as 3. If you're running a multi-supplier operation on Shopify and your team is still doing this manually, Flxpoint is built specifically for this. Get started with the first link in the description below. Hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on the bell notifications so you do not miss the next one. If you want to go deeper on automating your entire supplier operation, watch the video on screen right now. See you in the next one.